Hello, everyone. I am Brady Bridges, and I'm the broker and owner of Reside Real Estate here in Fort Worth, Texas. I want to welcome you to another episode of Real Talk with Reside Real Estate. We are a top producing team here in Fort Worth, Texas, and we want this podcast to be a resource for anyone looking to learn more about real estate and the great city of Fort Worth, Texas. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Reside Real Estate. Today I have Sarah Proud, who is the owner of Clean Juice out of Clear Fork, with me today. Sarah, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
So Sarah, I was kind of telling you beforehand, my shift, the past episodes I've been doing have been focused on more of the home buying, selling process, but I wanted to take a little bit of a break from that aspect to kind of talk to people here in the community, because Fort Worth's a very unique place, and I want people to know about other small businesses and places they need to get out and check out. So would you mind kind of telling me about yourself and a little bit about your business?
Sure. So my family, we are actually new to Fort Worth ourselves.
Okay.
We moved from Canada just over a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so we came to Fort Worth and we're loving it here. We purchased Clean Juice at the shops at Clear Fork, and it's a certified organic juice and smoothie cafe. We sell acai bowls and sandwiches, wraps, salads.
Awesome. So how did you go from Canada to Fort Worth? I'm sure you guys have been melting.
Yeah.
30 months.
Well, we figure we'd rather be hot for a couple of months than frozen for 6.
Okay. So did y'all come specifically for the store?
No, we were planning to come to Fort Worth, and we were looking for a business opportunity here. And we came upon Clean Juice through a franchise broker, and yeah.
So kind of tell us what is Clean Juice?
Mm-hmm. So Clean Juice is a franchise that has over 120 locations across the country now. Certified organic is really our focus, what sets us apart.
Mm-hmm.
So all our ingredients are whole foods.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's all whole foods and just real clean eating.
Yeah, I figure, I used to go to Smoothie King all the time. Like, I'd go work out, go to Smoothie, and my wife's like, that's really not probably that good for you. Just still, I think people assume a lot of times if it's not a cheeseburger that it's good for them.
Right. Right. A lot of those drink places have a lot of added sugar.
Did you and your husband moved down here? Did y'all kind of have a history of, were y'all pretty healthy? I mean, what kind of led y'all to this avenue of a business?
Yeah, I'm very interested in healthy living, herbal medicine, and good nutrition. Yeah, so that's definitely something that's been of high value for us as a family.
So you took over the store, you said when?
July of last year.
Okay, how have things been?
Challenging for sure. I'd say the first 6 months is like drinking through a fire hose.
Did y'all own a business before that?
I've owned just a few tiny little businesses without any employees. So this is definitely a big step. A big step up as far as business ownership.
And we'll talk about that too, because I think a lot of people have entrepreneurial dreams. So I think it's interesting to hear your story. So obviously you guys didn't pick the location of Clear Fork specifically because you guys took over that store from the franchise. But when y'all were looking, were there why did that specific, when y'all decided to buy that, stand out? Was its location one of the big factors involved?
So we initially were looking at building out a location in Fort Worth, and they hadn't really considered selling that location at the time that we were starting our process. So, we looked at a couple of other locations in the area that were lovely. We were very excited about a couple of them, but then when they offered us the location at Clear Fork, that really seemed to make sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'd be curious. So, I'm sure they do their demographic research, right? So, where were the other locations that y'all were kind of looking at?
At Montgomery Plaza was one, and there was one just south of the city off the, I don't remember what it's called, but it's a newer, more box store kind of a thing in a subdivision, and then the other one was on West 7th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where all the people are, all the time.
Yeah.
So, why Clean Juice over a different franchise?
So Clean Juice, it aligns with our healthy eating values, with that lifestyle, and also it's a faith-based franchise.
Okay.
And so the core values with Clean Juice was really resonated with us, and we're really excited to work with a company that stood for what they did.
Yeah, I think that's important, especially, whether you're getting in business with someone or getting into a franchise, to make sure that you kind of are on the same page about the way you look at things and the foundation you have laid for yourself lines up with the business. Otherwise, it could kind of be a disaster.
Absolutely, yeah. We were when we were setting up our discovery day, they said, "Oh, bring your kids. It's no problem." And we thought, "Oh, bring your kids like to a business meeting," and we weren't sure that was actually gonna really work. And so we had plans for our older son, to take them to a park, and but it was like, they're legit. They meant it.
Yeah.
So they were giving our kids snacks, and they didn't mind the little noise and whatever that they made. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, if they're kids, how many kids do you have?
We have 10 kids.
10 kids?
Yeah, and 8 of them was moved here with us.
Wow, then you are very busy.
Yeah.
Running a business and 10 kids?
Yes.
Wow. That's awesome. So, transitioning, you've been doing this for a little over a year now, you said?
Mm-hmm.
So, what are some of the challenges you faced, with running the business, with just kind of anything, moving to Fort Worth? What's that been like for you as a new business owner?
Yeah, so there's a lot to learn at first, for sure. We'd never done restaurant before. There was a lot to learn, and taking over the location with the benefit of existing customers and existing staff, but then there's also the challenges that we discovered as we were trying to balance the books, right? Trying to make the business come to a place where we could be profitable, and seeing just the bad habits and the retraining that needed to happen. So, yeah, that was...
Well, I'm sure, I'm just assuming y'all probably struggle with the same thing a lot of people are right now, is just staffing. It's probably really hard to keep really good staff.
We have a lot of students, and so we've had some really lovely... Our team right now is great. But yeah, with students also comes the challenge of every time the school year changes, we have a turnover.
So you came here from, literally, you didn't know anyone here when you moved here, right?
Right.
So how have you and your family engaged and gotten kind of more involved in the community? Because obviously you want to build your client base beyond just walk-ins in the store. So what are you doing to get your name out there and get people to know what you're doing? Because I don't think y'all are probably the only store in Fort Worth proper, right?
Yeah, there are a few in Dallas, but we're the only one in Fort Worth.
So how are you getting involved? And
Yeah, we have a great church family. We go to a smaller church. Our older kids are part of a climbing gym in town.
Okay.
But we've also done samplings where we go visit other gyms. We've done a couple of things with some other local businesses. I've done some sessions, and stuff like that. We've done some catering for a couple local businesses and some offices as well.
Have you seen your business, like a lot of new customers come in from those activities?
It's kind of hard to say sometimes. Yeah.
I'm not in the retail side, so I think sometimes it's harder to track and measure. Retail and food, I'm sure, it's a whole different animal. We try to do discount codes and stuff like that, but it doesn't always.
Some always is a bit shack.
So are you in the store every day?
No, I'm not. I do all the administrative, and my husband's in the store more than I am. I like to be home with the kids when I can, and so I'll do the ordering and the payroll and all the administration.
Do they help y'all, because it's a franchise, do they have those systems set up already that's part of the franchise agreement, that like their marketing platforms, their quick, whatever, all their accounting systems, do they give you all that?
Yeah, for the most part. We have required vendors that they use to just keep things the same across the board that they can access as well.
Well, that helps, I'm sure.
It does.
I mean, starting from scratch, at least they have somewhat of a blueprint, right?
That's right. Yep, and they've had some growing pains as they get to be such a larger franchise. So there's been a lot of change in the franchise right now.
Do you guys see yourselves expanding beyond the one store at any time soon?
Well, we have to start making money at this one first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, any new business venture, usually you don't break even until probably a couple of years, I would think, at least.
Yeah.
It's different for food. I don't know that industry, but
Right.
yeah, you got to get back your initial cost to get in and then start becoming profitable in it.
That's right.
What's some advice that you would give people interested in starting a business here, whether it's a franchise or not? Because you're brand new to Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm.
So like coming in, I'm really interested to see kind of you guys' opinion on Fort Worth. I think it's great, but what advice would you give people if they are thinking about starting a business? Help them avoid the missteps, right?
Yeah. Well, be prepared for an intense 6 months. I would say that for sure. We didn't have much time for anything else. Just so much learning and all you don't anticipate all the permitting, and there's just a lot of setup involved at the beginning. And also, I've seen with some other clean juice owners that the build out costs can be more, like the cost of building materials has really increased, and so a lot of times the build outs are more expensive than they expect, and then they don't have enough working capital to be comfortable in cleaning. So just make
really
sure
know your numbers before you get started.
Have enough money before you get started, for sure.
So how has your experience been here in Fort Worth? How are you liking the city? What do you like about it? What are you not liking about it?
Yeah, we love Fort Worth. We do. It's been a little bit hot, but I would say that's the only downside. So we're also used to like feet of snow in the winter time, and we went to the park in January in shorts. So yeah, I'll take that over.
We just get ice. We don't get rain. We don't get snow. We just get ice.
Yeah.
Whenever it comes, it's just horrible ice.
Yeah, for a few days. And that's it. Yeah.
So where do y'all live at in Fort Worth?
So we actually were very close to here until just last month. We've moved out to 820 and 30. So we're just 15 minutes from West Ave.
Okay, nice. This kind of can go in with what we were talking about. What mistakes do you see other business owners make as they get started? And it doesn't necessarily have to be in food, but a lot of the things that I think about as I got started is, like, I think sometimes you can put your family to the side a little bit because you have to put so much time. So like what are some of the growing pains and mistakes you would say people are making and how to avoid those? Because I know that was one of mine, is getting started, like you said, you have to put so much time into it that you sometimes put things that are more important on the back burner a little bit.
Yeah. So when I'm looking back and comparing how I was running my other little tiny businesses to what I have now, and just understanding how like hiring people can really help too. And not to be afraid to invest that if you're full to the brim to hire somebody to take some of that burden so that you can do what's most important and balance that. But I'd say with any kind of a business, probably that first 6 months.
I think that's really good advice. Like sometimes you have to hire out and give up some of your investment. Give up some of the good to get to the great, right? Because you realize, and I saw this too in growing mine, you may be good at things, but there's people that are much better at those specific things than you are. And if you try to be good at everything, you're going to drop the ball on something. So I think that's really good advice.
Yeah, and that frees you up to do.
Yeah, and you also don't want to have a business that controls you, and that's not why you get in the business, is where you're stuck at the store all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and we have a new baby coming in December, so
you are busy. Congratulations.
Thank you. So, yeah, my husband's been like, make sure there's somebody who can do everything that you do, just in case.
No one will ever be able to do that. I doubt that.
I got the baby. Yeah.
So, I think is a good question. So, obviously, y'all have a lot of kiddos. How do you manage running a business and being a mom? That's a question I ask a lot when I interview agents, but I think being a mom and you have a lot of kids and obviously it's important to you, your faith,
Yeah.
How do you balance that?
Yeah, I would say it's actually not my favorite thing to try to juggle that. I'd rather be at home just with the kids. But so how I manage that is to do more administration and have paying other people to be actually in store most of the time. So you'll only see me in store I'll be dropping off groceries and then I'll take the odd shift that can't be filled by somebody else. I love working in the store. but I really love being home with my kids.
Yeah.
So that's definitely the priority for me. And then trying to just do all the work things that I need to do in a lump so that I can free my mind up to be with them and to be fully present with them.
Yeah, I think I struggle with that just because my job, and you're obviously a business owner too, but your job as an owner never stops.
Mm-hmm.
Something can always come up, and it seems to always be like I get home at 5 o'clock and then you're like trying to play with the kids, someone calls. So trying to compartmentalize and prioritize the times that are important, that's something I have to really work at myself. Shoot, once your kids get old enough, y'all could open another store and just employ them with your kiddos. So what is your favorite thing on your menu?
I tend to love something for a little bit and then I switch to something else, but everything on the menu is great. But my favorites right now, the pumpkin one. So we just have our fall menu has come out last week. So the pumpkin one smoothie is a really good one. The nutty bowl, acai bowl, I love.
What is acai bowl? I've never had one.
Yeah, it's like a thick smoothie, and then with toppings. So we've got a thick smoothie base, and then with granola usually, and some fresh fruit.
Actually sounds delicious.
It's absolutely delicious. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite things. So, but the nutty bowl is my favorite for sure. It's chocolate and strawberry, and some almond butter in there.
So are those are not the healthiest options on the menu, are they?
Oh, well, they're not unhealthy for sure. There's no added sugar. It's fruit, almond milk, and then I love to add superfood add-ins. So mine usually aren't the pretty color that they are on the pictures.
Yeah.
Because I'll add maca root for hormones and turmeric for inflammation and camu for vitamin
you can
C.
add whatever you want pretty much in.
Yeah, you can. I like to add spirulina too, or spinach for some greens.
So like if somebody was coming to visit you guys, what would you say like the average spend if you're in the store, you know, order for yourself? What is somebody going to spend?
Probably $10 to $20. Yeah, for all organic.
That's on par with anything in Clear Fork.
Yeah.
You do anything out there, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
And are y'all where in Clear Fork? Are y'all right by Doc B's?
We are. We're right across from B&B Butcher between Pandora and Amerisleep.
And what are your hours?
Monday to Thursday, 7 to 7. Friday, 7 to 8. Saturday, 8 to 8. And Sunday, 9 to 6.
You had to think about them to run it down, didn't you?
Yeah.
No, I just think it's good for people to know kind of what options, because it's interesting. Fort Worth, you know, I've been here. I grew up in West Texas, came here, and just kind of the shift of all the growth that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, people have much healthier trends now. People are trying to watch what they eat better. So I thought this would be a good topic to talk about, and I think you guys provide a lot of value to Clear Fork and the community. So I wanted to have you on. So one of the questions I asked you earlier, but I never ask everybody, so what do you guys love most about living in Fort Worth?
Mm-hmm. The people are so friendly. Yeah, we've really found that people are friendly and inviting. Christianity is mainstream, which that's something really foreign to us, being where we come from. We love the botanic gardens. So we get library passes as often as we can, and enjoy that. And the stockyards is also somewhere whenever we have out of town company, we bring them there. It's a lot of fun, and we found there's a lot of healthy food options in the area as well, which is important to us.
So besides y'all's place, what are some of the places you really enjoy going to?
Well, we don't have a lot of money to eat out with a family our size.
Well, that you have to buy at Sam's Club.
So Sam's Club doesn't have very many organic options.
So you're going to Whole Foods?
We're going to Costco.
Okay.
Costco a lot, and Costco weekly at least, and then a little bit to Whole Foods. But I order from Azure Standard as well. But when
if you do get to go out and treat yourself, what other restaurants do you like, and where do y'all like to go in Fort Worth?
Yeah, HG Supply is a good one.
That's good.
Yeah, Flower Child.
Have you gone down to like the Magnolia area yet?
Like Wicco?
No, Magnolia Street.
No, I don't think so.
You need to go check that out. There's a lot of really cool, healthy stuff. There's a like Spiral Diners down there. It's a vegan deal. There's some cool stuff down there.
Okay, yeah.
It's kind of where everybody that grew up or went to college here used to go to 7th Street. Now we go to like Stockyards or Clear Fork or Magnolia.
Yep.
Just the shift as you get older, you get away from the kids. And,
right.
well, I really appreciate you coming in. Is there any kind of last piece of information or anything you want to share?
I don't think so. Thank you.
Well, how could people get in touch with you if they had more questions or wanted to learn more about your business?
Yeah, cleanjuice.com is the franchise website, and there will be specific information to us on there as well if you look for it. You can order there. We also have an app. And Clear Fork at cleanjuice.com if you want to send me an email.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah, thank you so much for coming in. This was another episode of Real Talk with Reside Real Estate. If we can be a resource in any way, please reach out.
Thank you.
Thank you.